Hey guys, it's your girl DJ Sims and I am here with DJ Limelight for the Culture Podcast, and today it is a very special episode because we are dedicating it all to Ramadan.
That's right, and we thought we had to get someone special in, someone that we rate highly as well, someone that's very, very consistent with content but also very influential in my opinion. We decided to call you in, Saima. Thank you so much for coming through today.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh, that's so sweet. What a sweet introduction.
Yeah, man. And for those who don't know, you are Bengali.
Yeah.
You're currently going through Ramadan. You're probably just under halfway through Ramadan.
So we're just like halfway through now, yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like it was good for us to catch up with somebody like yourself halfway through Ramadan, because I tend to find with Ramadan, I have a lot of Muslim friends that the first few days everybody's kind of super quiet, they're just adjusting to the month,
yeah.
And then the last 10 days are very, very important as well on the religious aspect.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, how has Ramadan been treating you in 2025?
It's been good. I think everyone would agree, like it's like going so fast. And obviously because now we break our fast like quite early on, because we've experienced breaking fast at like 9-10 p.m, but now it's like I think hitting like 5 p.m, 6 p.m. I think the latest is like just past 7. So yeah, it's been going pretty quick and pretty easy. Yeah.
Wow.
And what would you say your daily routine looks like every day, since you've started fasting?
Yeah.
How does that day sort of look for you?
So ideally what we do is we obviously have our suhoor and sahri, or in the Bengali tradition we call it fatabala.
Oh wow.
But that's basically when we eat our like food for the day.
Right.
And then after that we go and pray like our Fajr Salah, and then straight from that it's like we start on fasting. So ideally obviously I wake up, have my suhoor, and
what
then
sort of time is that?
so that's around like 4 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 4 a.m. And then I think it ends at around like 4:45, 4:50. And then that's when we then just pray our Fajr Salah. And then we go on to go back to sleep. Or some people will just get ready and go on with the day. But for me, ideally, wake up, have my suhoor, pray, and then I'll go back to sleep, and then I'll wake up again, obviously like 9 o'clock, create some content, obviously do some editing, whatever I've got to do, and then complete the other prayers of the day as well. And then, to be honest, the day goes so fast that before you know it, it's time to have like iftar. So at 4 p.m, like we're in the kitchen. Oh, wow. Preparing, yeah.
We're going to talk more about the kitchen and the prep when it comes to family life, because I find that really interesting, and I actually find that really wholesome as well, that you get to actually spend quality time with the family and really embrace eating together.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the benefits of fasting, because what's actually interesting is even other religions have parts throughout the year where they have fasting.
Yeah.
They have slightly different types of fasting, but where they don't eat certain types of food, or they don't eat at certain times of the day. But what are like the benefits of fasting as a Muslim during Ramadan?
Yeah.
Especially.
So like you said, like the benefits of fasting is like spiritually and physically, there's like so many benefits behind it. But spiritually for us, it's a month of like Ramadan itself. It's not just about like fasting alone. It's where we try and focus on charity, self-reflection, spiritually cleansing, getting closer to our Lord, practicing, our prayers more, even reading the Quran, which is like our holy book. Because the whole point of Ramadan is when the Quran was actually revealed to our Prophet. So we kind of follow everything that he did in this month. So spiritually, I think we also are able to understand how it feels to be like the less fortunate and the needy. And this is 1 month that we only experience this, whereas obviously there's so many children, brothers, sisters, families out there, who are experiencing this on a norm. So I think in that sense, it's a very humbling month for us, for sure, yeah.
And would you say like growing up, you kind of have a first memory fasting, experiencing Ramadan?
Yes.
And what was that like for you? Because you must have been explained what it's all about as well.
So you've taken me back to like primary school days,
Yeah.
because initially fasting, it's kind of compulsory after you hit puberty. So prior to that, it's like, you know, some of the kids would just kind of do it. But yeah, because obviously when you see your parents doing it, you want to get involved and you're wondering, why are they up at like 4 o'clock in the morning? Let me get involved. But yeah, so in school we do like a half day. So I'd probably do it from like morning till like 12 o'clock. But then even then it feels like I'm still kind of a part of it. But coming back home, you know, seeing all the food that mum's cooked and just sitting around the table, like you said, because 12, like during the rest of the year, you know, we're so busy with life, we don't really have that time to get together and to sit on the table like every day. So it's that 1 month where we do. So I think growing up, it's nice to kind of see that that's like quite a valuable aspect of our religion. So yeah, that was really nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And going back to the whole benefits of fasting, you know, we spoke about the religious aspect of it, but also the physical aspect
Yeah.
of fasting, because you see it in like scientific like readings and stuff where it's like actually it helps your body detox and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, do you personally find benefits of fasting in terms of health as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, like it's scientifically proven that it actually is beneficial for heart problems, to reduce the risk of cancer, even like for mental health. There's so many like benefits behind it, and especially for us, like it's beautiful because it's like the physical and spiritual side of it kind of interlink. So it's like we're kind of getting rid of all of those toxins in the body, as well as like spiritually cleansing ourselves. So yeah, I mean, now like obviously intermittent fasting as well, like so many people are like doing that, and the benefits behind that, like it's not just about weight loss, you know, like improving concentration, and yeah, like blood pressure problems, heart problems, like it's helped people so much. Yeah,
That's amazing. And then like you mentioned things like the religious aspect of fasting and how it helps you as well, and kind of the rewards you get through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an interesting conversation with one of my friends the other day, and he was like, he listens to me on the radio quite often, and he was like, oh, I'm not going to tune into you tonight, but it's weird because during Ramadan, you don't feel like listening to music. You don't feel like doing certain things that you might actually enjoy doing throughout the year. Do you find that's quite common?
Yeah, so obviously we use this month to kind of get really like much more closer to our religion, and also kind of cutting down certain habits. So like listening to music, a lot of people would try to use this month to not do that, or like, you know, foul language, or certain things like overeating, you know. For instance, obviously naturally we can't eat because we're fasting, but it's like small things like that. It's like we try to implement that we can then carry on after this month. So yeah, I think that's a common thing for everyone during the month of Ramadan. Yeah.
And I think as well, it's nice that you mentioned, you know, you kind of get to like that family time as well, especially around like iftar, because, you know, sometimes life gets so busy and you don't get to have like sit down meals as much with your family. But I guess during this month, iftar, like it's the perfect time to all get together, cook together, you know, eat together. So what is this like for you in your household? How does that routine, and how does it feel for you to actually, you know, be able to spend time?
Yeah, because the men are in the kitchen as well. So that's good. Yeah, so like my dad comes back from work, brother comes back from work, and we're all just like in the kitchen kind of helping my mum. So in the Bengali tradition, like the traditional like meal that we have for iftar and Ramadan is kisuri and sana. So it's kind of like khichdi and chana. Yeah, like black and white chana that we kind of mix together. We have that with obviously like our fry food, like samosas. Dali bora is also something. It's kind of like crushed lentils with like onions and lots of seasoning that we obviously fry. I mean, it is a bit unhealthy, but then it's nice comfort food. Comfort food.
Food you want to eat, I guess, as well, after like all day of kind of like
fasting,
not eating.
And obviously the first thing that everyone kind of breaks their fast with is dates and water, because that's what our Prophet had when he was fasting. So that's the first thing that everyone does ideally have when they break our fast.
But even with things like eating dates, like the health benefits of eating that are really cool as well.
It's really good.
And it teaches the kids as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. It does, yeah. Because even like for suhoor, like now I feel like everyone's on the health thing, because before people will have like biryani or like whatever comfort food, but like I'd have like granola with yogurt, strawberries, blueberries, and like carb dates. And it energizes you genuinely throughout the day. Yeah, and it's sweet and tasty.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, a lot of my friends used to get on to me because I'll be at all the iftars and eating the food, but I wouldn't be fasting. And they'd be like, one day one of the guys was like, bro, you're always here eating, but you don't do none of the fasting. So I might have to try a fast a couple of days this year. I might try it.
It is it's a lovely experience. It's not just about like keep like not eating food. I think it's kind of also, you value time, and there's a lot more discipline, like, and it comes very naturally, like, you know, usually in our day-to-day, like, things happen so fast we don't even know what's happening when, whereas when you're fasting, naturally you think, okay, it's hit this time now, like, what do I do now, you know, like, there's so many benefits behind it, you know. I think, like, even from what you're explaining, I think it's good to even learn from it, because like it isn't just the fasting or food element, there's so much more to it, which is so nice as well. Do you find there's like any struggles, like, you know, like going through Ramadan, like, do you find any struggles? I think like naturally, like, it's just the kind of the thirst, I think, that gets to everyone more than the hunger, because, you know, we need water on our day to day, but other than that, I think we know that we're doing it for, you know, our Lord, and that's the beauty behind it, because we know that anything that we do in this month is actually, we get rewarded 70 times more than what we do throughout the year. So that's great. Like,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So could you give us an example possibly of how that could work?
Yeah. So for example, let's say like charity, you know, if you give money to charity, naturally you get rewarded for that, but you will get like rewarded 70 times more. Or a prayer that we do, like when we naturally, like, our 5 times prayer is important within the Muslim religion, but in this month, you know, the prayers that we do, or like reading the Quran, like just whatever time you dedicate towards like educating yourself more, building that knowledge, getting closer to it, we get rewarded, like, you know. And it's nice because it's the one month that I feel like as a Muslim community we're all in sync, and we feel so much at peace, because like I said, it's like spiritual cleansing, right? Of course. So it's really nice, it's really rewarding.
We love that. And, you know, I think that's why myself and Sims thought it was really important to talk about Ramadan with someone like yourself, because it's like good to get a perspective, but also get that knowledge as well, and the understanding of the actual impact it has on not just yourself, but also your family as well, I guess. And it's like, you know, like you said, it's like everybody's in sync, which is very rare to see, especially in this day and age where like we live in such a fast pace with the internet, and the culture has just become a lot more faster. What I did want to touch on was like something that I've noticed is very important is the last 10 days of Ramadan. So I've noticed that becomes quite like people decide to fully lock off from the internet, for example. I have friends that tell me, look, I'm fully like locking off from social media, for example. What is it about the last 10 days when it comes to Ramadan?
So the last 10 nights are basically kind of known towards the build up towards Laylatul Qadr. So that's like a very important night for us. So that kind of sums up the whole month. And during those last 10 nights, that's kind of for us to really touch into the spiritual side of it. Because, you know, obviously the whole month we naturally, like you said, we ease into it when we first start off, and then getting used to the fasting, the charity, praying. But those last 10 nights are like for us to really touch into just getting closer to Allah. So whether that's praying, whether that's reading the Quran, whether that's like giving charity. And I think the most beautiful thing is that, you know, He always says to us, you know, come to me, and whatever dua you make, whatever you ask for, I'll give to you. But in these last 10 nights, anything you ask for and everything you ask for, the chances of it getting accepted is like a lot more. So yeah, I think that's like the most key thing for those last 10 nights. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
And then I think like when you come towards the end, you're probably preparing for Eid as well. So, you know, we'd love to talk about that, and even knowing when it is, for example, and the preps towards it, and the feeling on Eid as well. How is that whole process for you?
For Eid, we obviously know when Eid is depending on the sighting of the moon.
Yeah.
So then that's when we find out, like, okay, it's, you know, happening on this day. That's obviously when we celebrate the 30 days that we have been like fasting. And it's beautiful because that's like, you know, we go buy clothes, eat lots of food, we gather together, and just kind of celebrate the whole month of just getting through the whole month and being able to appreciate it, and just following like what our Prophet did in this and that month, because that day is literally full of like celebration. Yeah, and just enjoying each other's company, eating lots of food, gathering together. So yeah, it's nice.
And in the night before, I think leading up to it, when you do find out you have Chandra, that's like everyone's kind of out and about. I'm always out and about and I always end up in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially, well, obviously, like, I think it's everywhere, but in London, I think the main spots are like...
Ilford Lane.
Yes, Ilford.
Green Street.
Ilford Lane, Green Street, Southall.
Basically.
Yeah. But yeah, people are active. But yeah, it's nice though, because... that's when like you have the stalls, don't you? And then everyone's doing henna, having like food, and just like really excited for the build up to the next day. Yeah, which is like really nice. It's nice.
Yeah, you must be excited for Eid this year then.
Yes, I am. Looking forward to it. I haven't got my outfit yet though, so that's still in the process. But no, I am really looking forward to it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And then one more question I did have actually. So after Eid, now Ramadan's finished.
Yeah.
I've also noticed that a lot of people do say they end up missing Ramadan. They actually say, oh, you know what, I actually missed that time because it was like such a spiritual time and it really was a good time for peace and stuff in terms of like everything in my mind slowed down. I mean, do you find that as well? Do you reflect a lot?
It is. It's kind of like when we go to like pilgrimage, you know, for us, that's kind of like we disconnect from the whole world and we just go there, pay our respects and do our due duties. And then when we come back, it's just, it feels like, I don't know if I should use the word emptiness, but it kind of just feels like, you know, when you feel that connect and that peace, it's like I said, when we're all in sync, all doing the same thing, but all, you know, using that 1 month to get closer to our Lord, naturally we get caught up into doing our day-to-day things. So then we remember that, oh, you know what, we don't have as much time. But that's why that month, like this month in specific, is used for us, not just specifically for this month, but for the months to come, to try and practice whatever we've learned in this month and to take that on. So yeah, it does sometimes feel like, oh, you know, I wish it was for a little bit longer. And I think it's just the whole process of peace. Like when the peace that you get in that month, and Islam itself means peace. So yeah, definitely. I'd say I definitely would count myself a part of that.
Yeah, makes sense. And what's your go-to iftar? What's your go-to if you had to pick one dish to eat for 30 days?
Oh my God, that's so hard. I'd have to say the kisuri and sana. I'd have to stay true to the roots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
probably like a staple for you.
It is, yeah. Like especially, so we have different things always. Like we make that, and then along with that, you know, we'd have like lasagna or like, you know, spag bol, or maybe order takeout some days. But that's like a must, especially like with my dad. Like 30 days straight, he can't eat anything else.
Wow.
He can't. I think it's also nice because it's like we know that 1 month is kind of dedicated to having that. So it's nice, yeah.
And you guys go to the mosque quite a lot?
Yes, we do.
On a day, like evening basis, right?
So after we break our iftar, we go for tarawih. So that's when we do all of our prayers there, yeah. And also on Eid day as well, we go to the mosque, which is lovely. So yeah, that's a part of it.
I definitely feel like I've learned quite a lot, like just having this conversation. So I feel like a lot of people who maybe might not know too much about it are probably going to watch this and hopefully gain some more knowledge.
Yeah,
definitely. No, I'm so glad that we did this, and it's so nice that we're touching into it. And yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, thanks for your time. And what can we expect from you for the rest of the year? Because I know you're real busy as well.
Oh my God.
We love your content as well.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, just staying on top of the content, making the most of it. Of course, with Ramadan as well, just trying to keep up to that, and just keep a good balance of, like, you know, the day-to-day, of course the spiritual side of it as well, but yeah, just making the content and hopefully a few new things coming. I'm not going to give away anything too soon, but yeah, definitely.
We're really looking forward to seeing more from you.
Thank you.
And more content from you as well.
Thank you so much.
And we're hoping the rest of Ramadan goes really well.
Thank you so much, guys.